Hello there. Welcome to the stream, Magic Monsters. Hello, welcome. I don't know how much the delay is going. Actually, no, the delay is very not much. I don't know what I was streaming the intro scene for minutes, maybe a minute, 1 minute, and it wasn't working, but now it is. So hello there, everyone. Hello, the polyglot programmer. Was polyglot mean? I'm just thinking like, well, polygamous. That's almost certainly not it. So let's see. Polyglot definition. Polyglot, speaking, writing, written, and composed of several languages. Ah, so you're a programmer who can program in multiple languages. English, Spanish, French, etc. I'm sure that's what you mean by languages. Ha ha. So, welcome to the stream. What's going on? How are you all doing? How are you all making your way in the world today? It takes everything you got. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at? What was I doing today? So I mentioned, I don't know, those of you who saw the game dev show earlier, but I mentioned this trajectory system or projectile system. And so lots of things going on here. You can magic missile. And these are all based on behaviors. And these scripts are just different. So there's scripts, different behavior scripts. You can create your own. They're not difficult to create. They're all short little things. They do one thing. Each one does one thing. The collision. What happens on collision? This one is a spawn, objects, and bounce. So you override. You add your own member variables here and whatnot. And you can override things. Spawn object at position. This is actually on collision behavior. You've got these trigger, enter, trigger, and you can just override these things. Where was that one? And so this one's overriding spawn object at position, and then it's going to call bounce. Bounce is a special one. I should probably make this protected virtual, so that you can also make a class from this child class out of this. So you know, and then on the projectiles themselves, when you look at the projectiles, all they really are a basic projectile, which you can override that as well, and the different behaviors. So you throw on your different behaviors, and you got different things. So the forward missile just goes forward. The fireball does a fireball forward, and the fireball times X, which we're looking at here, it's got a spawn behavior 5 at 90 degrees. So you can see that 5 at 90 degrees. If you go that 5 at 90 degrees, you can change it to 8 if you wanted to. And then you got, well, you'd have to start again, but because it caches not caches, it creates an instance of the thing. So now we've got 8 at 90 degrees. I still have to get rid of that particle. So now you got 8 at 90 degrees. You got the 10-ball shooter. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, I think I got the angle. I was doing a test. Let's set this back. This is the problem. I do tests, and then... yeah, so I want the angle Y to be 0. So this is the 10 shots. It's a spawn behavior. And you can customize all that. Jihad, weren't you the one who was saying it was like 3 a.m. or whatever on the other side of the world? And I said you need to move if you want to see the streams. So that's the 10 shot. You can customize things. And you can create many of these. You can just go into this, create projectile system, spawn behavior, moving behavior, trajectory behavior, and all the main ones are there, but then you can create multiple versions of that. Well, I'm glad you were able to catch a little bit of it before you fall asleep. Hopefully my nice, smooth, relaxing voice will put you to sleep and have you have nice dreams, very nice dreams, that you wake up thinking, I want to go back to bed and have more dreams. What's going on here? That's weird. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, that's the projectile system. And the last one that I was working on was an instant one, which I don't think I put here yet. Yeah, I haven't put there yet. It's this instant movement, instant hit. And I think I have some notes for myself somewhere. Yeah, I was just testing things out. Anyways, so that's the plan. But before we get into that, if we get into that, I got friends coming. We're having a friends Thanksgiving weekend, much belated, because that's sometimes it takes a while to get friends together. This weekend, my friends are coming up. They said they've left, and I told them to come earlier, but they didn't because they had work, and I said, work from here, and they said I can't, and so now they have traffic to sit in, but they're coming, and so the stream might not be the longest stream in the world because I do have a little bit more things to do to prepare, like clean bathrooms and the kitchen and stuff like that for that very fun weekend. But I wanted to go through some of these. I still have to get to this audio clip combiner question. It's not the highest priority right now. How do you fix it from being pink? Never mind, you figure it out. That's my favorite kind of support request. All right. What happened to the update? What were we talking about? HDRP. I was going to update the package to 4. Which package are we talking about? This is an interesting question. Let me log into the Ask the Store Publisher portal and see what we're talking about here. No, that's not my email. That wasn't my password. Okay. This was talking about HDRP. Low Poly Monster Bundle. Bats. Oh, I have to enter a code? Two-factor authentication? What happened? Why do I have to enter a code? I haven't gotten the message yet. Are we going to be in that situation where I have to enter a code, but they won't send me the code? They haven't sent it to my phone. Hello, the bull. In general, I will miss things. General is like where just general shit happens. But you gotta post in the support sections so that I can see them and thread them and reply to them, and other people can see them and maybe reply to them. All right, I guess in 7 seconds I'm gonna have to click this resend code button. Oh, I just got, as I click the button, so I don't know if this is new or not. Nope. All right, here's a new one. God damn it. All right. Are we in? It's very slow. Which one were we talking about? The bats. Didn't the bats get updated? I think it did. Did I not click a button? It's always possible that I forget to click a button. The latest in general. Okay, hold on. Let's look at this first. Packages, draft mode. Do I have a bats in draft? No. Let's look for bats. Bats 4.2 published May. No, we were looking for low poly bats. That's one. December 4.2.1. So it does appear to be published. 4.2.1. Oh, I didn't see that. Even without the update, I'm all good. That's good. But it also should be published. It says it's published. Glad it's working. Not sure why 4.2.1 isn't showing up. I see it published in the publisher portal. We can click right here. Let's see. Package releases. Click, 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 clickety, click, 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 click. Isn't clicking because it's slow, and it has to do all this crap. One day, maybe it won't be slow. So, and know any good jokes? I keep telling my friends I'm going to make my world famous mashed potatoes. I keep saying in text messages, my world famous masher. Hey, can you bring a potato masher? I forgot to buy one. It's for my world famous mashed potatoes. I keep saying my world famous mashed potatoes, but not a single one of them have yet said what's world famous about it or something along the lines. They need to say what's world famous about it. And then I get to say, you've heard of mashed potatoes? And they say, yeah, of course. And I say, exactly. Get it? For 2 days I've been saying this world famous mashed potatoes, and not a single one has set me up for my punchline. Yeah, it says it's released. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you very much. Clappity clap clap clap. Yeah, so I don't know. That seems to work. Wait, okay, it's working. We're gonna ignore the whoa. There are more here than it was here. That's annoying because here I am looking at these and I didn't know that there were even more down here. So I've been ignoring these. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore it. I need a way to tell everybody this is not an issue. Sorry, didn't mean to ignore it, but the questions and answers list didn't show these, and I didn't click into it to see the full list. All right, so the short answer, stack trace. It can't use recursive symbols narrowing down exactly what's the issue is that game module objects have dictionaries which reference game module objects which have dictionaries, etc. Infinite. So it's basically saying that there's a loop. It's not actually a problem. It can be ignored. The warning is on that. The error is a Unity thing. If it can be cleared, it's not an issue. In this case, I don't think it's an issue. All right. I hope that makes a sense. Low poly bundle. Good asset. Oh, you guys can't see the whole thing. I'm so rude. I'm glad you said when you're old, not tomorrow, because you're old. A few complaints, better than complaints. Doesn't support UPR forward plus rendering by default. Textures flicker. Interesting. He's talking specifically here about the color shifter. The color shifter is, do you use that runtime? I don't know. You can just use any old URP because the textures on the low polys are just one color. That's it. Color shifter is for edit time, really. Okay. Most important, some human-like models are generic. That is they're human-like, but they're not human. So, Thanks for the feedback. In general, the color shifter is really meant for edit time. It can be used at runtime, but it's overcomplicating texture switching, since the textures are just basic textures. Texture shifting, switching. Correct on the HSL. That's legacy. I should update the packs at some point. Don't have time to do that. Point. That's how you spell it. The generic models are likely not set up for human due to various things, like their bones in the skeleton's case, literally, etc. I'll check out the demons. Shouldn't be a missing avatar, but sometimes things like that happen. Not sure why. It's like a missing sock. You know that how socks go missing? Third asset. Congratulations. How are the first two doing? That's what this reminds me of. When random components suddenly are unlinked, it reminds me of a missing sock. So in this case, this is the demon low poly we're looking at. So we're going to quickly make a update to this demon low poly. Demon low poly. Create new draft. That's going to be open. What's our release notes going to be? 4.2.1 and 4.2.1, and we're going to say fixed missing avatar from a prefab. That's what we're doing. All right, let's see if this works. Let me bring in remove the bats. Bring in the demons. Load up the demo scene so we can just see this beautiful demon here. Okay, amplify. I did make the shaders, by the way, with Amplify Shader Editor. So it is harder for me to edit the shaders because I don't write shaders like many y'all. Missing avatar, indeed. Just click play to see if buttons work. Buttons appear to work. All right. Oh yeah. See, this is old. You used to be able to do this, but this was just silly. I mean, it's cool, I guess, but the color shifter's better. So this is one of the old ones. Do I have color shifter here? Texture material. I do have the color shifter. So I think it's time to. Well, I have to update the demo scene. I want to update the demo scene right now. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. So I'm just going to update this. I need to find time. I don't have that right now. It's just the way it is, and I would like to have more time. But at the time, I don't have more time. So we will fix this one small issue and move on for now. Dragon flying breath fire moving model. This is always going to be an issue. I'm trying to make the bone dragon breathe fire in place while flying. Most of the flying animations are working okay, but this one, very quick, even though the apply room mission is ticked off, they're all flat. Generally, if the mesh moves while root motion is off, then the solution is to copy the animation. Literally duplicate it while it's selected. And then open that in the animation window and remove whatever keys are affecting the motion. Sounds like you said that is already the case. They're flat, but try removing keys to see what happens. That's generally the way to fix that. Hopefully it will work for this wonderful person. Save quit. And reload this. Submit this to the store. Oh, it's a new version. I have to delete. Here, see. New version because I'm in 0.48 instead. So we're going to remove that one. And best to use any default URP or HDRP shader with the textures. They are just a color texture. Save that, submit that. I swear under penalties of perjury. Wild Hunt. Hello, Wild Hunt. In the editor scripts for the equipment system, there's a script named Prefab and Object Manager Editor. It looks like it needs a minor update. Nothing game breaking. That's good. But it keeps spamming warnings about self-referential code that appears in a few places like that. If label mask does not equal label mask equals label mask. That is silly, isn't it? Let's have a looky-loo on, where would this be? This would be under Jason Storey Projects 2020. Now in 2021.3. Sold 5 copies in 3 months. Second asset is 200 in queue. Probably approved next week. My second tool handles dynamic resolutions in a smart way. Priced at $35. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully you did the new release discount. There's no dynamic resolution solution in the store, so I have no competition that you know of. Your only competition is people's ignorance of why they need your solution. And that is the greatest competition of all. You know? Check this out. I bought this thing. It was a complete impulse purchase. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but how about that? How about that? Why am I so blurry all of a sudden? My speeds were perfectly fine before. It's being auto. I'm just gonna make it. There we go. So I bought this thing. It's a stand-up light. It comes with this app. It's Chinese. It's a Chinese app in English, but it's just not the best designed app. Like, they do a good job. You know, they could be much worse. But yeah, it's just not that great. They've got all these different things, energetic. These different settings. But, well, this one's neat because as I talk, okay, let me see how it looks on the screen. This one, as I talk, it will do things, so that's kind of cool, I guess. And this one is bounce, hopping, so energetic. That one's okay because it's not as obvious, but it's still pretty cool. Strike. This one says strike. I have to keep talking to make it move when I talk. Skittles. It's probably a trademark violation, but it's annoying. See that? See the button, the green button? There's a button over the other buttons. So if you press the button or you try to press the button, it doesn't quite work right. I don't like that one. This one's called Candy Crush. It's probably going down. Sev up. Fusion. I don't... Oh. So this one's constantly moving, but as I talk, it moves faster. Luminous. Luminosity. So this one, I don't know. Separation. This is going from the middle out, but you can't really see it there. I think the energetic one is not my favorite here. Maybe, what was it? It was the hopping? No. Vibrate. Bounce. No. This one? Separation? No. Was it this one? Was it this one? Was this one the one that it's kind of less annoying? This one? I can't remember. I said it earlier, but I think it must have been this one. This one seems to be the most unobtrusive. So we'll leave it there. Anyways, I bought that thing. It could be a waste of money. I have a warning in my OBS saying that the stream was having issues. My internet is getting better. And I think Unity's crashed here, by the way. It crashes on the open color space sections part from time to time. That was an aside. This is where it crashes from time to time. Apply active color space. Usually it only does it once. I don't think it's crashed like that twice in a row. This time, however, it appears that it may have done just that. So, let's see. I'm not going to let it linger for too long here. I'm going to assume it crashed. And we're going to load it up again. Reopen. Maybe it hadn't crashed that time. Yee. Hard to tell. Okay, there we go. So we are going to be looking at a script called... What's the script called? Discord is called Prefab and Object Manager Editor. New window. Hide the AI. And specifically, we are looking for label mask does not equal. It's supposed to be manager label mask. In the version I have on my system, it is. Unless it's multiple places, let's just double check. Oh, that's template label mask. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this looks just erroneous because this is never gonna... Draw label selection. Find the index of Infinity in all labels. Check if Infinity is included in the label mask. Include it in the label mask. This seems like it's not needed. Label mask equals mask field. It's probably meant to be this. Because it says update the manager's objects label mask. I believe it should be this. And I bet here is supposed to be that too. Because we're trying to keep the two synced. That's my bestest guestest. And this is the thing that people complain about. We are still working on the new humans, by the way. The problem is, and it's not a problem per se, the situation is that our lovely animator who is spawning these new humans into the world is also spawning a new human into the world at any minute. Could be right now as we speak. This new human could be being born. So she has passed me the latest files. Not here. Here, she has passed me the latest files. And now I will need to get somebody else to continue her work, because she, for the next little bit, will be busy trying to figure out how to not kill a kid. You heard from other publishers that they hit 600 sales in a Unity sale. At the time you said about 50 to 90 sales. I'm on 5. Any secrets? The big secret, number 1, use the new release discount. That didn't exist back in 2016. So use the new release discount. You'll make a little bit more money. However, on the forums they say that you will not create an engine with that. You will make more money on average. Individual results may vary, but generally it makes more. And then so do that. Get a Discord going. Respond to people as quickly as humanly possible. By the way, this is the label thing. It seems to be working. Sure, that will be that. I was talking to you though. And create Discord. The problem is that a lot of things just, you won't get that many sales. And I always like to say, you know, more people need a forest than need a human. More people need a human than a dragon. More people need a dragon than a mushroom monster. And the reality is, unfortunately, and this is where in that talk, I think I mentioned it, I misjudged how many sales I would get on things like a mushroom monster. I thought mushroom monster, 1 sale a month, 1 to 2 sales a month. So if you do the math, okay, it adds up. It might take a while, but it'll pay itself back. I was wrong. A lot of those sell once every 6 months. Some of them just don't sell ever. Some of them will only sell in the bundles. And the bundles are a good way of doing it because people like, you know, a good deal and they like getting more at once. So the bundles are helpful, but the reality is individual assets, individual characters, they just don't sell that much. And but I stream, I do stuff, but it's just the way it is. Asset sources. Made a big purchase a while back. Oh. I think you may have. Did you email? Yeah, so I used to sell stuff on my own website. Bad idea, by the way. Don't sell your own stuff on your own website because over time you'll lose customers and you might never get them back because people find stuff on the asset store. So when you get a sale on the asset store, it boosts your ranking. More people will see it. So you get user acquisition. When you sell on your own site, yes, you get to keep 97% instead of 70%, but that means you don't get bumped. And over time, I found that my average view per month per package went from 100 down to 15. And that was tanking sales. So when I stopped selling on my own site, sales did go up. I don't know where they'd be if I hadn't ever started doing it on my own site. Anyways, so for a while I had legacy.infinitypbr.com to help people get migrated over, but it's been years. It's been 3 years, 4 years almost. So I cut it off because it was costing me money. All right, game modules. My favorite thing here. It clears, it also comes back randomly. Again, yeah, this is the same. It can be clear. I haven't. I mean, I don't know what it means. I've not run into any issues with it in my own projects. I need someone to be able to show me where the issue is so I can fix it. But there's too many random errors that show up. And if I'm cleared, then fine. All right, proficiency on my condition does not seem to work. Chris Baker, last we said should shush him perhaps at the same time. Let me know. I try to make the movement speed stat have a base value of 1 just to see if that made a difference. But it doesn't seem to make the condition affect the movement speed final value. Here are some screenshots of the logs before and after. Okay, so the original issue here was adding a condition to my actor to modify the dodge and move speed. No condition. Condition applied. Proficiency is negative 0.5. Okay. Can you confirm that you're updating the final value? So final value, let me check the docs. We'll go to Infinity PBR.com and click on the scripting docs. And then we're going to go into game modules final values. Conversion rate, I think it's something like... I think it's something around 2 to 3%. 2 to 3% is a fine conversion rate. I don't know what the average is on the whole store necessarily, but let me just quickly take a looky-loo. The site is slow. Conversion rate is 3.2%. But this is for, what is this for? This is not all assets. It says all assets, but... but this is from only a portion of time. So let's see from January 01, 2024 to the last date is the 18th. It says, apply that. My conversion rate just this month in the last little bit is 3.17. This is inclusive of, it looks like everything. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 days with 0 sales at all. Just a heads up, January 11th through 14th, all those days had 0 sales. January 7th was the best day with a few hundred sales. But in general, it's not that much per day. It's a numbers game in the end. My page views are... And the problem is this includes the tail end of the sale. But and also, here's the other problem. When you get 0 sales, even though you get page views, the conversion rate is 0, so it doesn't get included, and most things get 0 sales. In fact, in this time frame, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 different things had sold in that time frame. The vast majority sold only one time. So you can see conversion rates all over the place. But it averages out to about 3%. So there you go. If I look at all assets for January 1st, 2023 through December 31, 2023, apply that. It's always interesting stuff. Yes. Now, I have a question. If now knowing that my average is 3%, your average is 2%, what are you going to do about it? What does that tell you? Does that tell you need to do something about it? So the average for last year is 3.07%. And that was up 0.9% versus previous year. What's crazy is the sales volume was up almost 50% year over year, but the revenue was down 33% year over year. 2023 was a tough year. Revenue was down over 33% versus the previous year. I think sales volume went up because of the I'm going to guess because of the AI art packs. And those are cheaper things, and some of them sold okay, but you know, let me see. Sales quantity. How many sold 0 times? $100 sold, 200 sold at least one time. Of all the things in my library, 201, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sold at least once. What's crazy is that the Banshee only sold once. And I thought the Banshee was a really cool hero type character. But I was wrong, apparently. Crazy. Anyways, that's enough of that. There is room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. But yes, it gets harder. Okay, so we were looking at the final value here. Game modules. Module documentation for stats is going to be... Why is it being slow? What is this test here? Apparently I tested something and then didn't turn it off. So this is how the final stat is computed. You get the stat points plus the base value plus the final value, proficiency, multiplied by the proficiency equals the final stat. Where is the code? Game stat. Gain the final stat. Recompute the final stat first, along with all the stats that feed into it. The second version here will recompute the final stats. Now, this should happen automatically. But try that just to see if it's not. It should be happening automatically. They should be recomputing automatically. You can also toggle on the Blackboard settings, post and notify for the final stat to see, and it should show in the debug log that this is happening. If the option is turned on in the main Blackboard. Let's look that up. So let me load up that project. We'll close this project, load up the game modules for project. So the Blackboard, I'm referencing these toggles right here. You can post stats. Oftentimes you don't want to post the stats to the Blackboard because it's going to post a lot perhaps. And then for every character that has that stat. Let's see. 29. Well, I was working with people and I was spending all my money. I was hiring artists and I was paying them and I was sending them all the money I had, and over a period of a few years, all that money went away. And I said to myself, God damn it, I'm going to have a good job this year. By the end of 2017, I haven't made more money on the App Store. I need to get a job because my game didn't make as much money as I wanted and all that other stuff. So I got a job. And then it took another couple years before I finally was able to pay myself. It took 2020. The beginning of 2020 is when I was able to first actually pay myself for all that work. It took 5 years. Now I can pay myself, although last year I didn't pay myself much at all. And I hope the government doesn't mind because I stopped paying myself a salary. My tax person said, hey, the government wants you to pay a salary because then you have to pay more taxes. And so I was doing that for like a year and a half. And then last year I was like, I can't keep doing this. I'm going to lose money. And I would have lost money if I had kept doing that because they were all gone to taxes. So I stopped doing that because last year was, and I stopped hiring new characters because they weren't selling. The new characters weren't selling. So I was like, I can't keep doing this. So I cut my expenses and cut my, because I was cutting my income, unfortunately. I didn't mean to cut my income. Anyways, so that's that. It's hard sometimes. So what was I doing? Oh yeah. So I should load up the other project. I should load up the demo, party-based RPG demo project, because this one has the one that's all set up, ready to go. Hey, my nephew texted me. Awesome, thanks. Yep, I was showing him the giant can of cheese at Costco. That giant can of cheese. $16 US for that giant can of cheese and nacho cheese. It's cheaper than buying the smaller jars of the nacho cheese, and it freezes well. So if you like nacho cheese from time to time or you're having a party, then that's the one to get. All right, so when we go to the main Blackboard here, it should have, what's modules helper? Oh, is this what it is? I don't remember. I have no idea. I cannot remember modules helper. Huh. Let me try something. I thought that this button was going to be like here, not here, maybe here. Yeah. What's modules helper? Is it actually used? Oh. Ah. Yes. I see. No, it's not to help you write debug log. It's for automation helper stuff. That makes a lot more sense now. It just goes here because you have to have the Blackboard in your thing, so you have to have that in this thing. Ah, okay. Anyways, so you're going to want to make sure this is turned on. Apple, why did you make me click 2 buttons in order to do this? That. Arrow. All right, so I'm going back to Discord. Not use app. Upload file. Screenshot that one. Doom. That should tell you each time the value changes in the console. So like, for example, if we go to our stats, we're going to look at party stats gold. And we put points notify. Oh, that's already there. Okay, so if I click play here, and then we click this button right here, it says plus 10 gold. I'm going to clear this out. Plus 10 gold. Click that, and then, wait, no, click it. Click it, and it's not It's not doing it. Why isn't it doing it? It should be doing it. And the gold is going up, right? Party gold 0. Oh, I was clicking the wrong one. The minus 10 gold, and you can't go minus. Okay, well, gold is going up, but it's not printing it to the console. Why isn't it printing it to the console? I don't know. I would think it would. Let me see. Maybe because it's a party base and it's not on the... In this one, the gold is a party stat, so it's on a different object than the other stats. So if we look at the main stats and we look at which stat is affected by... Well, we can look at hit points. Hit points are, okay, post whenever the points happen. So if I go there and we quickly get through this quest. Oh, no, we don't need to get through the quest. We're already here. Our hit points should go down. And no, look at that. It's not posting. Why isn't it posting and notifying? Oh, it should be posting and notifying. In fact, it probably is because this is happening. But it's not doing this. It's not doing this part. So the blackboard right here, add event, write to console, notify event, notify note. Both of these, add note, update note, if send notification. Let me just, do I not have that turned on? Blackboard. Let's just double check, make sure I'm looking in the right spot. Interesting. This is still going in. Okay, so that isn't apparently the spot. Let me just copy this real quick. We'll make it a very different color. Let me just double check. Nope. All right. So that apparently is not the spot that handles this. Why is that? We don't have more than one blackboard, right? Because our quest event board, you can see the same concept here. Debug options, right to console. Quest event board down here. Blackboard. Oh, that's the blackboard on the time board. Ah, you know what I need to do then? I need to be more specific about this. And for the class name, we're going to do blackboard, and then whoops. And then inside here, we're going to do gameObject.name. Try that. Because that suddenly confused me, because this is the time board that's pushing this. Aha, there we go. So now the time board's doing it, and then this is just saying blackboard. Why is that different? It's really not the best color either. It's very hard to read. Let's make it that color. And then for this one, where is this? Oh, this is notify event. Okay. Notify note. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit different here. We're gonna do a public string black or write to console name is going to be that. And so here, instead of all this, we're just going to do wait for the thing to do. Oh, then we're just going to do that. All right. So now in all of those spots where we do this, we're going to do that. That way, we don't have to keep updating everything single one. Word, word. All right. All right. So Blackboard time board is doing that. If I turn this off on the time board, where is the time board again? Time board, this one's selected. Turn that off, those should stop. They do stop. That's great. What we need though is the main Blackboard to be, oh, it's not saying write to console. Oh, it got saved. The value is saved with the rest, so we can turn it on. Now, add gold. There we go. So it should say something like that. There we go. So it is working. Yeah. There we go. That's that. Tech Dave, have a good time. I hope we do too. I hope we do too. You know, I'm actually renting out a room in this house now. There's some dude living in the house way over there. And he's nice. He's nice, very nice. We're the same age, turns out. He's very quiet, respectful, and all that stuff. But one of my friends was like, "Ooh, there's a renter there." The house has 4 bedrooms, so yeah, I need, and it's expensive. I can't afford it. And like I said, 2023 was a tough year, and spending all my money on the house, and that's not good. So I'm renting the room out. My friend was all nervous, but they decided to stay here anyway. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, so that's working. I'm going to make a note. I need to make a note on the game modules. We're going to make an update here to it because I did make a change. It's a small change, but we should post about it in the release notes. Game modules for... It's a small update, but I will forget to even create a new draft. I'll forget to even make this release note. 4.12. 4.0.12. Updated Blackboard or to specify the game object name that it is attached to when printing to the console. That's a small change, but worthwhile because that confused the shit out of me just now. Yep. All right. Note the value of the toggle is saved, so check at runtime that it is toggled on. All right. That's that. I gotta get to that. Game modules discussions, not support. All right. See, it doesn't show me them, but then there are more here. Okay. Do you know how I can control the push frequency, push event every 0.1 second for which aspect? The automatic notifications, etc. via Blackboard. I think those are actually doing 1 per frame, but I don't know. Let me see. Update note happens when? Blackboard, update note. No, it happens immediately. I thought there was a push and pop thing. So the events happen. Events happen once per frame in Blackboard. Blackboard.cs. If to make it 0.1 second, ultimately you'd, I suppose one way is to just keep a timer in that update loop. Another way is comment out this code entirely, and at start do a coroutine every 0.1 seconds that does this same thing. I don't think that the events should be causing much of a performance issue unless there's just too many of them. If there's a ton of events, then likely best would be to reduce the number of events. How many are being fired off? Generally, there should be few enough that you don't really even notice that it's actually doing only one per frame. Alright, game modules. Bad serializer. Oh no! Haha. Yep. I don't know. This is like the number one FAQ. The number one FAQ. It's because the dictionaries. It's because each game module object has a dictionaries on it, and game module dictionaries, and those are able to hold game module objects which have dictionaries, etc., etc. It's only a problem if your serialization is trying to save over 10 levels deep, but I think if that were the case, probably refactoring is in order. This is the number one thing. The number one. Best way to get instant damage without calculating with condition effect point in this setup. Let's see. They're using, this is probably means attack, but best practice in modern times is to say attack and spell it out. That's probably attack stat. So damage is going to be take between 100 and 150 points to damage. Now this is going to add that. This is one way. Many ways to do it. Not maybe, many ways. What's best is dependent on the project. in this view, when the police car condition is added to the actor, they should have 100 plus points added to their damage points. However, I think there may be some confusion. Is damage stat the stat used to determine how much damage the actor causes to other things? If so, you probably don't want to do it like this, because the points for a stat that isn't a stat shouldn't be affected by other things like conditions, objects, etc., unless it's a counter. Counter equals experience, level, gold, etc. In those cases, only the points is probably what matters. For a damage stat, you should be modifying the value. That is in the stats effects panel in the screenshot. But then again, you wouldn't make it an instant because the condition would go away immediately. If you want the car to be temporarily the police car, then you'd want then it should not be a instant condition, and the effects should be set in the stats effects panel. If you're just looking to compute the damage a character or an actor can give, you'll be better off writing your own method in your own class to compute this. Simply because there are many ways to compute damage, all dependent on your project. Let me know if you have more questions. I hope that makes sense, because I wasn't quite sure. The premise of the question confused me. I will try to look at the general thing once I get done with these so I don't forget them. The other one, can HAP or AC player work with game module 4? What are those? Are those other assets in general? Yes, other assets will work fine. Some may require some custom scripts to connect the two together, but game modules strives to be very non-opinionated, meaning you can hook it up to all sorts of different things. Hopefully that makes sense. Requests for new packs. The dresses are in the clothing pack. Seriously though, as close as I'm aware, they might make decent robes. Yes. Yes. Somebody wants wizard. Yeah. All right. General. This is the question I talked about earlier. All right. Is a port to UI toolkit anywhere on the roadmap? Not right now. Hi, Toast Cat. No. I mean, eventually, I'll have to update all the UX, the editor UX to the latest. It's not something I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, when the time comes, there will be helpers to help convert. But when I do, I'll have to basically do it to all of them all at once. It will not be a fun time period for me. Likely it'll happen when Unity releases a version of the editor that doesn't use the old one. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so that was all that. That took longer than I was hoping for, and as I said earlier, I have friends coming over, so I'd need to go clean toilets. A toilet. One toilet. The one that they're going to use. It's probably just dusty because nobody's used it since the last time one of them visited a couple weeks ago. Nobody's used it since then, so it's probably just dusty, but I'll give it a cursory wipe down with some spray and stuff. I gotta finish some laundry. I got a pile of clean laundry right there that needs to be folded. Oh man, yeah. I understand the need to modernize and change things over time. I get it. I make code and I do that too. But man, it's a pain in the ass when the new UI is forced on us. I'm gonna have to learn something new. I'm not looking forward to it. I really am not. Yeah. But hopefully I'll get back on this, not this, on the projectile system, not game modules, and I'll get some integrations with game modules, because the question people are going to ask when you have a missile and you want to say, oh, it hit, how do you make that work with game modules? How do you do any of these? Like, let's say that you want it not to be a 10-ball shooter, but it's based on a stat. Well, it's not hard. You can do that, but some code will be required, some custom code. So I'm going to give some examples of how to connect the two together. But with game modules, custom coding is important. You need to do custom coding, because otherwise, got him. Otherwise, things might not connect. You need to know how to connect the things. Game modules do a lot of heavy lifting for you, but it won't do everything for you. Does that make sense? This has different trajectory things, options. Some of them have trajectory, some of them don't. This one has this trajectory. Kind of just shows you where it's pointing. You can go up, down, and all that stuff. But yeah. But those are all different behaviors. Anyways, so those are different trajectory behaviors. And you can write your own. That's the other thing. I think people aren't going to like that part. I think it's very powerful that you can write your own, because it means you can do anything you want with it. If it means you can take, you like that, but you want to tweak it just a little bit, go ahead, tweak it, make an override, tweak it. But a lot of people don't like the fact that you can, because by can, they think you have to, and you don't have to. You can just use the ones that are already there and be happy with it. And I think sometimes people see the options of doing more and get scared. Does that make sense? They get scared that because they can do more, it means somehow they have to do more, or maybe that the product isn't fleshed out and full, and it's actually more fleshed out, Anyways, that's that. Thanks for hanging out. I hope to see you soon. Maybe I'll do a late night stream on Sunday night my time. The friends will be here today. They'll be leaving on Sunday. Depending on what time they leave, depending on how tired I am, maybe I'll do a cocktails and coding on Sunday. So check it out. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a blast, and I will see you real soon.